Today I'm going to show you guys how to replace the seal on this windshield. It's a lot of work, and if you've seen other videos where people do it, they're not lying. It's a pretty good pain. But I've already finished in real life, so we'll bring you back and show you what I did. I'm gonna start in on this windshield. So I'm gonna pull the windshield wipers off first. And then they recommend just cutting the old seal with the razor blade because they're so hard. It's like getting the locking strip and all this stuff out is like almost impossible. So I'm gonna try to do that. See if that's really any easier because this thing's freaking rock hard. But when this is all out, apparently it's a total pain in the ass with the new one in. So this will be fun. All right, so I was just using these as a protectant so it didn't damage this stuff, but you just pry those up off of this. It's like a toothed fitting on both sides. It's not very fun, but this one actually needs to be tightened up. But when I put them all back on, I'm gonna get them all adjusted properly, so it should be a little nicer. But now it's time to start cutting this out, so here comes the fun part. Okay, so I started with the easy thing, cut around the outside seal, part of the seal. So there's a gap here. That is not the right part. Big surprise, the easy part's not the easy thing to do. So I gotta figure out which part of the seal actually has to get cut. I think it's probably this one in here, but we'll see. Okay, so this is this new seal I got. I got it from Scout Parts. Looks like it's pretty much the same as the one that Anything Scout's got. I could be wrong about that though. I know that the rounded side goes in. This is the inside, and then this is the outside seal. That's the locking piece. And then this is, I'm assuming, the same thing as has what I ripped off of the last one. It's like an inner channel thing you have to insert. We'll see. So I know that I watched a video from Scout Parts, and they said that one of the questions that get asked the most is like, isn't this too big? Like everyone thinks it's too big when they put it in, but you just have to keep working it and it'll go in there nice and tight. I had to do a little bit of touch-up paint on the bottom there. That's all going to be behind the seal, so you won't see the paint marks anyways. But I just had some rust down there. I wanted to get covered up. I kind of scraped it out with a wire brush and did some touch-up. I'm going to go through and clean this up as much as I can. And I'm going to get a spray bottle full of soapy water. Just soapy water helps a lot with the rubber slipping over the glass and things. So I'll get it in, and then I'll start working the glass in, and we'll be on our way. All right, okay, so I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. So this was the first thing I struggled with here in this process, figuring out which one of these ribs to use. So when you get it out of the package, it's kind of confusing because you've got these ribs on the back side too. And so I was kind of getting this weird inclination, like it should probably be one of those, so that these all stand out facing in, but that's not quite right. So it's this rear one. So yeah, there's a rounded piece that comes around, and it's like curved, versus this side, which is a big flat section with a split in it, and that's the locker. But it should look like this when it's in. It'll cover this gap that is in here, so it'll come in, and then the glass is going to go into this rib, and then we're going to press this guy into here, which is going to close it all up. So yeah, and then they say use a lot of soap and water, and I'm starting to understand why. So like when you put in the first part, that's easy, but when you get to the corners, you're going to need to be able to press those down and move them. So you need this to be like sliding on this rail. So I'm going to put some soap and water in here and get it so I can start to move it. Jesus, I'm not even done yet. I just got the seal, I got the window completely into its slot, and now I gotta put in this guy, which locks everything in, because it jams into this channel and then folds all this down. Bam. So, yeah, coming along. This is really hard, but it's not really, really, really hard. It's just annoying. It's definitely a project. It's gonna take me most of the day. Also, it started snowing. Alright, so I thought I'd show you guys this up close and how I'm doing it. So, got this 2-ribbed deal, and it needs to sit down in this channel. The corners are the worst, but what I'm doing is I start this edge up into the seam, and then I'm taking, let's see if I get this to focus, kinda. I'm taking a screwdriver and I'm pressing the whole bead up one little bit at a time, and it's pushing this all into it, and it is working, right? But it's not fast. It takes a long time. It's really tedious. Soapy water helps a lot. Keep it wet. If it's dry, like this is getting, it's way harder. So. Alright, I just finished up there. Got a nice tight seam. I used my PEX cutters. I cut it really nice, straight line on it, really easy. So that'll do it for this. I just gotta put the windshield wipers back on, and I'll have to go around and just check. There's a couple of spots like this that need to just be touched up, and that's as easy as just hitting them again. And just peeling that out. It's kind of dark hard to see it, but kind of see how it smooths out. So a couple spots like that, but she's done. All right, that's a wrap on that one. Hope you found that useful. We'll be moving on to the interior in the next one, but this was a pain. I will admit I actually came back a couple days later to finish it up because it's exhausting. I also got advice from a buddy after I'd already done the first part here, saying to put the seal on the window first. I don't know if that works in this case, but it does seem like it would make sense, especially if you had the rope to pull out the seal. If you got it all onto the window, there's like nothing to you don't have to worry about trying to hold it up and all that nonsense. And I think you might end up with an easier job, but this is how I did it. It worked. Looks good. And yeah, catch you on the next one.